Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And I'm a cup of monkey piss.
Welcome to episode 378, WWF Monday Night RAW. That's right. It's the night after SummerSlam. What could happen?
There'll be a lot of people there. They'll show us a bunch of still photos and let us know what happened last night.
Yeah,
that's what'll happen at the very least.
At least. The bare minimum.
Yeah, probably some fallout from how the show ended.
But this is the 326th episode of Raw, produced by the WWF. It was held on August 23rd, 1999, from the Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa, with an attendance of 10,641 people and a TV rating of 5.9.
Damn.
In comparison, Nitro had a 2.9 the same night, with a main event of Hogan versus Sting for the title.
Two of the biggest stars that you have, and you're doing half the numbers.
Yeah. Not even doing half. You're doing 40% of the number. That's insane.
Pretty crazy stuff. Justice for Sting. I guess he got a little bit with his run in AEW because he was appreciated the whole time.
I think his TNA run was considered pretty good.
I'm not familiar with TNA.
Yeah, we'll see it sometime soon, hopefully.
Yeah, one of these days.
One of these days. But right around the same time as this episode of Raw, Christina Aguilera would release her self-titled debut the next day.
Genie in a Bottle.
Yes.
What were the other songs off that album?
The other... Why am I blinking?
Because I remember when she went nasty, but that was after this. She was ex-Tina.
What a Girl Wants.
Oh, yep.
Come On Over, Baby. All I Want Is You.
I don't remember the other two.
I Turn to You.
Genie in a Bottle, absolutely inescapable. For me, a sixth grader, I think, at the time. Or, yeah, fifth or sixth grade. Christina Aguilera showing up just brought up the boyhood argument of who's hotter, Christina or Britney. We did not care about the music.
So who did you go with?
I think I was a Britney guy. I mean, they're both
very attractive
ladies,
women.
So
yeah.
But that's just boys at a lunch table.
But literally, anytime you say Genie in a Bottle or Britney, you think "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." You think the music video. You think schoolgirl or girl in a
belly shirt.
So it
was very vacation kind of vibes for Genie in a Bottle. I feel like, but I don't. Yeah. The video was not as bright. I know that.
I mean, he was on a beach at one point in that one. I think
Did you have these CDs?
I did not.
Yeah, I don't.
I heard them enough times because would watch. I'd run home and watch TRL or whatever.
Yep, I watched TRL as well. That's how I knew any of these songs.
Yeah,
I guess pop radio when radio was a real thing, but I watched a lot of MTV as a kid. So
I mean, Christina is definitely the better looking woman now.
She can actually sing. Britney Spears has a thing, but she's not Whitney Houston. She could hit the notes, I guess.
So actually, Reflection from the Mulan soundtrack actually came out before her album came out.
Oh, I didn't know she was on that.
Yeah,
Mulan's one of the movies that I never saw because it was past the time where I was seeing every single Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tarzan and Hercules were the last couple animated hand animated Disney movies that I saw in the theater. And that was That was probably the last couple.
But it's also just crazy, like, how much talent was in that version of the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh, yeah. I always forget there were Mickey Mouse Club kids. I never watched the Mickey Mouse Club.
I mean, I didn't either.
But it was, Justin, Brittany, Christina.
Let's see here. There was who were the other ones?
Was there a 98 Degree?
I want to say one of the Lachey's was on there. And then there was JC Chavez was also one. Ryan Gosling. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I was like, there's
somebody who's...
There's like an actual famous actor
yeah.
that was part of that group. But yeah. It's one of those things that, like, every time you hear, like, how much talent was in that group, you kind of go, was that show any good? But I never watched it.
I mean, no, yeah. My memory of the Disney Channel was, like, before it...
Yeah, because you were more of a Nickelodeon guy.
Yeah, but before it, like, took off, when they were just kind of, like, filling air, when I was, like, really young, where Nickelodeon just needed... No, not Nickelodeon, no. Disney Channel just kind of needed programming. It was, like, before the run of them having, like, what's the Shia LaBeouf show and all that stuff.
Oh, Even Stevens.
Yeah. I remember watching as a little kid, but it'd be, like, just
Lizzie
kind of the
McGuire.
most... Yeah.
Those are all kind of the last shows that I watched on Disney Channel.
Yeah, I think my sister watched those, but I wasn't interested.
By the time Hannah Montana came around, I was
out. That would have been a problem if you were watching it, because I was out of high school, I think, when that was the show.
I mean, the Disney shows I remember were all on regular TV in the Disney afternoon on.
Oh yeah, like
on like Fox
Rescue
or
Rangers and
Rescue
stuff like
Rangers,
that. Yeah,
Tailspin.
I watched those.
Darkwing Duck.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever there's trouble, you can call him on the double.
Oh yeah, Christina Aguilera. I think she's still out there doing stuff, right?
I mean, I think I think she's released album. I'm sure she's released an album within the last 5 years. I believe she was a judge on one of those shows here recently as well.
She seemed to make it out of, childhood fame okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't really hear much about her, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you still hear things about Britney, and they're not ever good.
Yeah, dancing half naked with knives on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. But poor girl.
But anywho, let's talk some Monday Night Raw. Don't do this at home, and the WWF Attitude Packages play. Before we get still highlights of SummerSlam's main event, where we see Mankind win the championship, followed by Triple H beating down Austin after the match. Raw's opening video plays, followed by Pyro going off in the arena, with Jerry the King Lawler welcoming us to the show.
I know. Something new.
Right? But it's because Jim Ross is in the ring to introduce the new WWF champion, only for Hunter and Chyna to make their way to the ring instead. And Triple H says he did everything asked, fought numerous number one contender matches, but he was screwed by Ventura. The WWF is holding me back as they are afraid of him winning. Hunter continues that he had Stone Cold beat, only for Foley to steal his thunder. That's a bunch of bullshit. And if there was one justification in last night, it was knowing Triple H crippled the Rattlesnake before mocking Austin being laid out with his legs up in the air like a cheap prostitute. Hunter then turns to JR, thinking he has to be enjoying this. So enjoy this, with Triple H grabbing his arm, taking Ross down to the mat, and yelling at Mankind to get out there, or he will break the announcer's arm. And Foley comes out to the stage with Hunter telling Mankind that paybacks are a bitch, and he wants what is his. Followed by Foley telling him to let JR go, and he can have a title shot. Only for Triple H to break the arm anyways. And the sound guys play a breaking sound, but they were like a half a second too late, so it was it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was good for the effort, I guess, but it's like, well, would you be able to hear it with they're using like directional microphones, so
you would never be able to hear him actually break the bone, unless you're standing right next to them. Hunter and Chyna then run off as Mankind gets in the ring to check on Ross. then tells Triple H he broke the announcer's arm, so he's going to break his promise. No title shot.
I mean, I feel like that's fair. You just
I
broke.
thought
You
so too.
You just broke a probably 45-year-old out of shape man's arm. It's not very nice.
Shane McMahon then comes out, saying he's going to make Foley keep his promise. And the Heartbreak Kid isn't there to help him. And medical personnel come out and check on JR as we go to break, but come back to highlights of what we just saw, before seeing Ross getting taken away in an ambulance. Back in the arena, the Kings talking about the matches we'll see tonight, before being joined by Michael Cole for commentary for the rest of the evening.
One thing, maybe the best Triple H promo we've seen.
Yeah.
He feels like a actual person with a misguided heart. He doesn't feel like he's just going through the motions. There was some passion in there. And did they do this with, I guess the JR thing is an excuse for this, but I'm like, also, are they letting Michael Cole get some reps in before our new show starts? But it also works for the
so spoiler alert,
program.
SmackDown starts the same week.
Yeah.
Which I don't actually know if they actually ever mentioned SmackDown on Raw.
I don't
remember
I'll
them.
have to keep my eye on my notes as we go through.
But like when this happened, I was like, oh, are they going to make Cole the lead announcer on Raw and they're moving Ross to SmackDown? And so this is kind of the way that they're going to transition this. Because, spoiler alert, Ross is on SmackDown on Thursday night.
Nights, yeah.
But the next time we cover SmackDown after that, Cole's on commentary on the SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And Ross is back on Raw. So I was like, well, maybe they decided against changing them over. Who knows? So it may have just been part of the storyline to let him get on the road early to get to the next city or something. Yeah. Who knows?
We need an excuse because like, if Mick says no and Shane comes out and says yes, it's like, well, do we need to do the break the arm?
Right.
Because Mick was like, all you have to do is ask. Like, you don't have to hurt a guy. I'll just give you the match because he's Mick Foley. He's a king.
But that takes us to our first match. Road Dogg Jesse James versus Al Snow with Pepper for the WWF Hardcore Championship. And James comes out and does his shtick when Al runs in and blasts him with the title belt and a chair to take the fight to the floor. And Snow pulls out plunder from under the ring using a cookie sheet and a wooden pole, followed by setting up a table and placing Road Dogg on it, before going to the apron to surf a small ladder, only for James to move, leaving both men down. The countdown then begins as Road Dogg puts Al through the table with a powerbomb, with Jericho running down to attack James. And they brawl up the ramp and to the back, giving us a no contest. Post-match, Big Boss Man then runs out to attack Snow with his nightstick and dog napping Pepper. They run off to the back, and we see Jericho and Road Dogg are still brawling in front of the interview area. And Boss Man ends up running off and jumping in a car and leaving as Al sprints after it.
It's such a silly, like, evil, cartoonishly evil thing to do, is steal somebody's dog. It's just really funny. And for Boss Man to be the guy doing it.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh, I know.
We then get a video package full of highlights of Stone Cold Steve Austin before going to commercial. Coming back to highlights of what we just saw, and Snow asking around backstage if production saw where Pepper was. And I'm like, you literally saw him get in the car with Pepper and drive off.
Is he just playing up the, like, craziness of Al Snow?
Maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
Back in the arena, Kane and X-Pac make their way out as Cole confirms that JR's arm is broken. And the former champs join the announcers for our next match.
There's maybe nothing funnier than Kane joining the announce table.
Why?
Yeah.
When you want to listen to this voice all night long.
And just he's like a giant man with an evil red mask on. It's just super funny. Like when the Undertaker does it, it's goofy enough, but Kane doing it is just the mystique of Kane. I know we break some of that down with the like bromance between him and X-Pac, but seems like still a step too far.
That takes us to our second match. Big Show and Undertaker with Paul Bearer versus the Acolytes of Bradshaw and Faarooq for the WWF Tag Team Championships.
Crazy that the Undertaker is in a match this early on the show. It feels weird. I know it's in a tag match, so it's not as big of a deal, but it's just Undertaker. The second match felt noticeable.
But the champs came out first. Foreshadowing. And we actually hear a new voice doing the ring announcing. Lillian Garcia. This is actually her first show with the company.
Oh, yeah.
And the Acolytes double team show to begin, but he comes right back with a leaping double clothesline, which knocks Bradshaw out of the ring. Faarooq is then dropped by a big boot inside, followed by Big Show grabbing the big Texan by the throat, only for the former militant to make a save with a chop block. And Faarooq starts kicking at the bad leg, while Bradshaw comes off the top with a flying shoulder tackle for a 2 count. Before a reversed whip sends the former militant to the ropes, where Taker gets a shot in, followed by Show clotheslining him over the ropes. The dead man continues with strikes to Faarooq, throwing him onto the announce booth where the former militant hits Kane, and that just leads to everyone brawling, causing another no contest.
Who'd have guessed?
In post-match, X-Pac is tossed into the ring, with Big Show delivering a chokeslam, while the Big Red Machine runs Faarooq into the ring steps, before Undertaker nails Kane with a chair shot over the head. And the Acolytes and Taker continue to stomp away on the Big Red Machine until they all just walk away, with Kane making his way into the ring to check on his partner. Because I guess a chokeslam is more dangerous than a chair shot to the head. Because Kane got up quicker than...
like...
It's just dumb, like...
Yeah, for sure. It's like, no, the chair shot to the head is the thing that they should have stopped doing.
Yeah. The minute after they thought about it.
Yeah. After you see a real nasty one. Yeah. After a guy's slipped a disc because of it.
After Mankind took 9 of them in that one match. They should have just been like...
You know what? Maybe not.
No more to the head, guys. We cut to the back where Test and Stephanie are hanging out in a hallway. And the former bodyguard tells her to hang on, with her wondering where he's going as we go to break. But we come back to Test making his way to the ring, taking the mic to ask some questions, including the question, and calls down Steph. But Shane interrupts, saying this will not happen, only for Stephanie to get pissed, screeching at her brother that she is happy and wants to know why Shane wants to take this from her. And Test tells Steph just to ignore him, followed by getting on his knee to pop the question, with Stephanie saying she loves Andrew before looking at Shane, continuing that she needs some time and hugs Test and hopes that he understands. We then cut to the back to see Jericho yelling at Howard Finkel.
I hate this.
That he doesn't need a Fink. He needs a warrior who will stand up and fight for Y2J. We then get a video package of random fans, pyro, and wrestlers as we go to commercial. Coming back to Jeff Jarrett, Debra, and Mark Henry making their way to the ring. And Double J thanks Mark for his help last night and gifts him the European title before turning his attention to Debra, loving the plan that she had and thanking her for coming up with it. Jarrett then has a special surprise for her, knowing that she could use some help. Saying everyone knows you got the puppies, but tonight you also get Miss Kitty as her new personal assistant walks down to join the crew. And Double J has one more piece of business, and he can stand in this ring and say that he's the greatest intercontinental champ of all time. So he left an open contract in the back for anybody to sign. But that takes us to our third match. Sexual Chocolate, Mark Henry, with Jeff Jarrett, Debra, and Miss Kitty, versus Meat for the WWF European Championship. And the champ was out first.
I mean, he was kind of already there, so sure.
Foreshadowing. And the challenger's music plays, but he doesn't come out. So cameras cut to the back to see D'Lo Brown destroying Meat.
That's not a sentence I ever want to hear again.
Running him into walls, slamming garbage cans across his back, and stomping a hole in him. D'Lo's music then hits, and out comes the former champ, rushing the ring and ducking a clothesline to deliver strikes and a crossbody. Henry's back up and just tosses Brown up in the air, only to miss a leg drop, allowing D'Lo to respond with a spinning heel kick, leg drop, and a lowdown. But Jarrett jumps in the ring to break up the pin, causing the disqualification, followed by rushing to the back with his posse.
I mean, D'Lo got screwed over. I understand
why he's upset.
Yeah.
Mr. Ass is in the back at the open contract, but he can't find a pin to use. Tossing over stuff in the hallway looking for one, when Chyna walks up, so he asks her for a pin, but she says she doesn't have one. Gunn tells her to stand guard while he runs off to find a writing utensil, only for Chyna to pull one out and sign the contract herself.
This lady's trying to get on the card, dog.
Rock is then shown walking in the back as we go to break. We come back to Kevin Kelly doing a recap of SummerSlam with still photos before going to comments from The Rock earlier in the day, where he talks about how Mr. Ass is a nothing. Why isn't he the number one contender? But he will always be the people's champ.
I mean, The Rock is proving a point that we've been making for quite a while. They just beat the living shit out of Billy Gunn constantly, and then try to act like he's a thing.
We go back to Kelly to finish out his report before we go to commercial. But we come back to Gunn looking for Chyna in the back. But that takes us to our fourth match. The Rock versus Gangrel with the Hardy Boys of Matt and Jeff. And Rocky takes the mic to tell the Vampire Warrior that he's going to take his blood, turn it sideways, and stick it up his candy ass. Feels kind of liquidy, but...
Yeah, you're going to stick blood. That seems dangerous. Messy, disgusting. I assume you need a turkey baster, some sort of syringe.
But
Super soaker if you're nasty.
But Rock then runs up the ramp to attack the new brood. And Rock continues the punishment into the ring with stomps, turnbuckle smashes, clotheslines, and a snap suplex for a 2 count. And Gangrel retreats to the floor, luring Rocky out as Jeff distracts the ref, allowing Matt to help out his new mentor, bringing the fight back to the squared circle to stomp away. And the Rock fires back with right hands, only for the whip to be reversed. But the Vampire Warrior telegraphs his move, leading to Rocky delivering a DDT for a near fall. And another reversed whip sends the Rock to the ropes, where Matt grabs his leg, only to toss the charging Gangrel to the outside. And Rocky gets too close to the ropes, leading to being hot-shotted and kicked out of the ring, where Matt tries to attack, but the Rock answers back until Jeff leaps off the barrier with a crossbody.
I love that barrier.
Edge and Christian then run out to chase away the Hardy Boys, leaving the Vampire Warrior alone to hit a side Russian leg sweep in the ring for a 2 count. Whips Rock into a corner and charges in, only to be hot-shotted onto the turnbuckles. Rocky lays the smackdown, nails a Samoan drop for a near fall, and goes for a body slam. But Gangrel floats over for an Impaler DDT, only for the Rock to counter it into an atomic drop, a rock bottom, and the people's elbow for the pin and the win. Post-match, Rocky takes the mic to say he's tired of Triple H coming out here and whining, that he has been held back, having to face guys like Mr. Ass and Gangrel, followed by exclaiming the fans want The Rock, so he will take matters into his own hands.
I know, I love that The Rock is just telling us exactly what's going on, because it'd be silly if they did not address the fact that The Rock is in a match with Gangrel.
Yeah.
It's a really, really intelligent way to be like, guys, we know. Like The Rock knows, like we know that this looks silly, but right now The Rock is just in the bullpen, like waiting for his
Just marinate.
Yeah, we gotta drum it up to like the highest point before we strap him up.
The Fink's in a gym, calling himself a warrior, that he can do it, as we go to break. And we come back to the WWF Slam of the week, where we see China body slamming Mankind, only to be distracted by Hunter, allowing Foley to lock in the Socko Claw for the win. And that was like the Raw before SummerSlam.
Yeah, they're not going to show a SummerSlam clip.
Yeah. The Ultimate Warrior's music then hits, and like making me and many of the fans in the crowd get very excited.
Yeah, I imagine like, because I may have tangentially knew who the Ultimate Warrior was, because sometimes I'd catch like wrestling on like Saturday morning or whatever. Like that's why I knew who like Yokozuna was and stuff, because I was a little kid and you'd watch a little bit of it, but I wasn't watching wrestling regularly, just kind of absorbed it. But if I was a kid that was a Warrior guy, I probably would have been losing my mind as well. And I can't believe that they did that. Like,
yeah, because
this isn't like it is now, where there's a Reddit that has like 9 million people on it talking about wrestling. Like most of these fans are casual. Like there might be die hard, but they still don't have that. They don't have. It's not easy for them to get information.
There were dirt sheets back then, but they weren't readily available.
Yeah, there was probably like 10,000 people in the country that read them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just Howard Finkel running out to the ring, but he does imitate Warrior's entrance, so
yeah,
he shakes the ropes, which was funny. I had a good time with it.
I do love the Fink. I just don't like him to be made a fool, and I prefer if he was still a ring announcer. No offense to Lillian Garcia.
So he takes the mic to say that Jericho has come to save the WWF and to make it a better place. He applauds everything that Chris has done, but there are some simpletons that just don't get it, namely Road Dogg, who just picks his nose in the back. And Fink wants James to come out to this ring and to show him what Y2J is all about. And so Road Dogg comes through the curtain, thinking that Howard's joking, only for Finkel to claim he's mad as hell and he's not gonna take it anymore.
Of course, Howard Finkel was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the famous quote from Network.
And he starts shoving James. And Road Dogg grabs Fink when the countdown hits 0, and out comes Jericho to blindside James before delivering a pair of power bombs. We then cut to Al Snow in the back, he's being distraught,
talking to himself.
Followed by cutting to Billy Gunn barging into Triple H's locker room, wanting to know where Chyna is, even getting into each other's face. And Mr. Ass tells Hunter to tell her that he's looking for her. But Triple H responds that he should be careful, as he might find her, as we go to commercial. And we come back to Kevin Kelly in the back with Hardcore Holly, showing highlights of their match the previous night at SummerSlam, with Holly wanting his cousin to nut up or shut up, so they can decide who the true super heavyweight is. That takes us to our 5th match, Crash Holly versus Hardcore Holly. And Crash greets his cousin with stomps and a dropkick to the floor, giving chase, only for Hardcore to toss him into the crowd to brawl, heading towards the back. They run each other into railings, equipment cases, tables, and a garage door, with Hardcore Holly asking Crash if he's had enough. But Crash just responds by clobbering him and taking the fight through a door to the outside, as the camera just stops filming as the door closes on them.
Had to kill 4 minutes, I guess.
So another no contest?
Yep.
Sure.
This is a keep the plate spinning kind of episode.
We then cut to Kevin Kelly, who informs us that Austin's prognosis is not good.
Prognosis negative?
He shows us still photos of the vicious attack that occurred at the end of SummerSlam, when Mankind would join Kevin to say that he's not happy with Triple H, who put him out of action with a sledgehammer. And then he took out Stone Cold and JR. Foley continues that while he doesn't always agree with Austin, the man has funded his retirement. And tonight, Hunter has to pay. We then get a Big Show highlight reel as we go to break, coming back to Al Snow rocking back and forth in a corner.
Sad about a dog.
Big Show and Undertaker then make their way to the ringside, kicking Michael Cole to the curb to join the announce booth for our 6th match. X-Pac and Kane versus Mideon and Viscera.
I have an idea of how this is going to go. There's a sign directly behind the commentary table with a guy. The sign just says, re-sign Ahmed Johnson. And I really got a kick out of it.
Did you pop for it?
Yeah, I was like, that's, I rewound. I saw it said Ahmed Johnson. And I rewound to see what else it said. Because, who's even thought about Ahmed Johnson in a calendar year?
I definitely haven't.
But we liked him. He just he had glass bones, I guess.
So Pac and the former pig farmer start us off with back and forth action when the Big Red Machine tags in, destroying Mideon with right hands, turnbuckle smashes, and chokes, when the Acolytes would stroll down to ringside as well. And Kane continues the punishment when the former pig farmer reverses a whip to attempt multiple short arm clotheslines, to no avail, leading to the Big Red Machine delivering one of his own to take down Mideon. But it leaves Kane too close to the corner, allowing Viscera to grab and pull him into the corner for double teams. The Big Red Machine fights his way free, only for Viscera to answer back with an airplane spin Samoan drop. But Kane sits right up and fires away with right hands again, bringing X-Pac in for a spin kick and a Bronco Buster. And the Acolytes attack the Big Red Machine on the apron, while Pac takes out Mideon and Bronco busts him as well. Viscera then charges in and crushes X-Pac and his partner in the corner, followed by making a cover for the pin and the win. Post-match, Kane finally gets away from the Acolytes, only to be too late to make the save.
I mean, good for Mideon and Viscera, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we are building a
tag team division.
Yeah, and having like X-Pac and Kane as a team is a good thing. And then obviously the reason that they're doing Taker and Show is so that the belts can mean a thing before it gets going.
Also Undertaker. It's probably about the only way that they can keep Undertaker on TV at this point with his injuries.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I'm pretty sure he disappears here pretty soon.
Oh, is that? And then he was going to come back with
Vroom Vroom.
Yeah, Vroom Vroom is a good way to tease it.
Mr. Ass looks to be headed towards the ring as we go to commercial. And we come back to him actually coming down to the ring, calling out Chyna, who also makes her way out to get in Mr. Ass's face. And Gunn thinks that they're just having a misunderstanding, but she tells him that he's talking out his ass again.
It's a lot of ass talk.
And they are about to fight when Jeff Jarrett runs down, swinging the guitar and knocking out Chyna.
It's a nasty one.
While Mr. Ass steals another guitar away from Miss Kitty to blast Double J with. So, I don't know where we're going with this, but it sounds like Billy Gunn's going to be back in the IC picture.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely not moving up to the main event anymore.
No.
We then see The Rock walking in the back as we go to break, coming back to a Rocky highlight reel before he makes his way out to join the announce booth for our 7th match, Triple H versus Mankind for the WWF Championship with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee.
How could this go wrong?
And now Shane never mentioned him being a referee early in the show, so this actually surprised everyone, even the announcers, and Earl Hebner, as he was down the ring ready to be the referee.
Yeah, Shane's just, doing the classic McMahon thing of just inserting yourself to try to get your way.
So once Shane gets to the ring, he's like, hit the bricks, Earl. But the match gets going with Hunter hammering away as soon as Foley's in the ring, only for Mankind to rebound to take his opponent down into a corner, delivering a running knee and a bulldog. But Shane decides it's time to wonder why The Rock is at ringside instead of making a count. And Foley continues with a running elbow drop and pulls Sacco out, only to apply it to Shane until tossing him out of the ring, but turns right around into a kick from Triple H, who attempts the pedigree, which Mankind reverses into a back body drop and locking on the Socko Claw to Hunter. Chyna then hobbles down to the ring, so Foley releases the hold from his opponent to apply it to her, until shoving Chyna out to the floor as well.
A tough 15 minutes for Chyna.
Mankind returns to Triple H to nail a DDT, but there's no ref to make a count. When Earl Hebner would rush back out for the pin, and no, Hunter kicks out. Foley knocks his opponent to the outside and gives chase to run Triple H into the barricade and the apron, only for Hunter to reverse the whip, sending Mankind straight into Chyna, who hip tosses him into the ring steps. Triple H keeps up the attack and tosses the champ onto the announce table, but Foley fights back and grabs a chair, only for Hunter to kick it back into his face. Rolls him into the ring where Triple H drops him with a neckbreaker and a facebuster for 2 counts. Hunter steals Socko off Mankind's hand and tosses it out of the ring, followed by throwing Foley through the turnbuckles to hit a ring post and a roll-up for a near fall. Exchange strikes when Triple H would deliver a high knee and rolling knee drop for a 2 count. Pounds away in a corner, only for Mankind to answer back with right hands of his own before a clothesline for a near fall. Another clothesline takes both men over the top rope when Foley would toss Hunter onto the announce table, but Shane would charge in with a chair shot across Mankind's back, only for Foley to no-sell and turn around to face McMahon. But the distraction allows Triple H to nail a chair shot over Mankind's head, knocking him out, before Hunter also lays out the Rock with a shot as well.
Ping pong chair action.
Shane rolls Foley into the ring, drags Hebner out to the floor and cold cocks him, followed by Hunter hitting the pedigree on Mankind, with McMahon making a count for the pin and the win. And post-match, Triple H, Chyna, and Shane celebrate in the ring as Cole says his goodbyes, and we fade to black. So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of WWF Monday Night Raw from August 23rd, 1999?
A totally fine show. The last match did what it needed to. They're pushing Triple H like this while The Rock is still waiting for his big coronation is smart, but I still think, even though I praise the promo that Triple H had at the beginning of the show, I still find him to be, the kids would consider sauceless. But outside of that, it's like, where storylines are moving. Everybody's got a thing going on for the most part. The amount of people on this show alone is crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking everybody shows up. Everybody that's like not injured is just who are we missing?
Draws and Prince Albert.
Yeah. The Godfather.
I mean, I literally think they're the only ones that were on the show that weren't on the show that were on SummerSlam. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Back it in.
I'm right there with you. I wrote fun show with lots of storyline advancements. Because, like, the wrestling, I mean, it's Raw. We know what to expect from.
We know where we need to go for wrestling.
What wrestling is going to be.
And it's a completely different country on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
We're here for sports entertainment.
Because what we had 3 no contests on the show, but everything is advancing storylines. It's the night after a pay-per-view, so
yeah,
they're already starting to set up for the next one.
They did. I'm surprised that they, not surprised, but they gave a huge main event on right after the pay-per-view. Like Mick Foley and Triple H is like
it's
great
kind of
Raw main event, and I hate to see Mick Foley not have the belt, but we know Mick Foley doesn't need the belt. He's the one guy you can do that with.
It's the reason why those rumors that we talked about last week at SummerSlam about Austin maybe just not wanting to lose to Triple H, like kind of using his pool to be like, I'm not losing to that guy.
He also shouldn't lose to Triple H at this point.
And so that's why they put Mankind in the match to, he was willing to lose to Mankind, but then Mankind can lose to Triple H whenever. Like they probably could have carried this over to the next pay-per-view easily enough.
Yeah.
But they want to get the belt on him. It pops a rating for them. Like if you do it every once in a while,
yeah,
it's fine. Like as we'll come to see, WCW seems to do it like every week at one point,
which makes the title mean nothing.
Meaningless.
Yeah.
Makes it meaningless.
This I don't think that this took anything away from the title.
No,
absolutely the way they did it. Triple H, everybody fucking hates him. So, and he beat a guy that nobody fucking hates. If he beat Stone Cold Steve Austin, that would be criminal.
Yeah.
Whoever would have allowed that to happen at this point in time should.
He'll get his win at some point.
Yeah, but Austin. Not yet.
But yeah.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? There. All right. Fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So, what are some of the best moments of this show? I mean, you liked the promo at the beginning.
For Triple H, yes, I thought it was the best promo that I can think of because like I said, I find him just kind of bland. And if he was going to have a great promo, tonight was the night to do it early in the show as he's winning the belt at the end of it. I thought Chyna took that guitar shot and sold it incredibly.
Oh, yeah.
That was like impressive and stood out in my mind. I'm trying to think of things that actually stand out on this show because it is very watchable, but like you said, we're spinning plates.
I love the Y2J and Howard Finkel stuff.
I just love Howard Finkel, and I don't like him looking like a fool, even though he's good at it.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But it provides the variety for the show and keeps it a little bit the levity light.
And there's nobody else that could do it. Fink is the guy to do it. I just don't like that he's not. He should have been the ring announcer until he couldn't talk anymore, in my opinion. But
I like D'Lo.
He's good at it.
I like D'Lo being so mad that he's like going to destroy Meat in the back to come out and take his place in the match.
It makes D'Lo not look like a chump, and it makes sense because D'Lo's been like an incredibly good friend to Mark, and then for Mark to screw him over like that, he should want to hit him with a truck. There's so much that happened on this show, and it's like none of it's completely terrible, I don't think.
I mean,
it all just kind of feels like
we can move to most disappointing because there is like the one thing that probably disappoints me the most was the Hollies match.
Yeah,
just because like the door's gonna close and that you're just gonna be like, okay, yeah, we're good.
And they fought off into the sunset.
Like what?
That was the sloppiest thing they did.
If that had been the only known contest of the show, I might have been able to go, okay, cool, whatever. But it was the third one of the show, and at that point, it's like
just lazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it doesn't do anything for the Hollies because, like, you're like, oh, these guys have an issue with each other. It's like, well, the issue didn't go anywhere. It just like faded away.
Like, I'd much rather them be working together. Like, if you want to have a healthy competition to like who's the true super heavyweight, that's one thing. But just to continue to like argue and beat each other up.
Also, you need to tease it longer and make them and like drag it out. It needs to be, more similar to a Sabu RVD type of thing. Yeah. But a little bit more brotherly, I guess. And you drag that out if you want to do this. I was kind of surprised that I guess barely because of how much interference there was, but that Mideon and Viscera got a win, but they got a win very
I think probably
moderately clean.
Big Show and Undertaker probably should have gotten involved there as well.
I was surprised they didn't get involved.
Like they're just at the announce booth, but
the Acolytes are just right over there doing stuff.
I mean, so X-Pac and Kane came out for Big Show and Undertaker's match versus the Acolytes.
Yeah.
And then both teams come out for X-Pac and Kane's match, but only the Acolytes get involved. But the feud is really with Big Show and Undertaker, so they probably should have gotten it.
Found it interesting. I don't think we talked about it that Taker is just like treating Big Show like he's like just pep talking him, like almost like a son, like under his. I mean,
it's
like a
total
tough love thing,
tough love mentor mentee thing, but like they don't really ever explain any of that.
Yeah, that's just kind of the thing that's happening on commentary, and we didn't really talk about it, but I found it, I guess, kind of interesting. Just a weird role for the Undertaker to take.
Best performer of the night? It's Finkel for me.
I mean, Triple H did what he needed to do.
I mean, Triple H was pretty good too.
Mick Foley never puts on a bad performance.
And Mankind did have that one that really good line, calling out Stone Cold for funding his retirement.
Yeah, that was very good. And
which made me kind of laugh.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, Mick Foley can get away with that, and if anybody else says that, we're like, that's a little like too much. But he's the guy he's like the honest guy. He's the audience surrogate, like, for the show, which is why he's so beloved.
Absolutely. And most surprising?
I thought that I wasn't ready for Triple H to beat Mankind. It totally made sense when it happened, but I just didn't expect him to do it as quickly. And it brought me back to watching this as a child and being bummed because as a kid and a Mick Foley fan, you don't think of Mick Foley as a guy not needing the belt. That's like an adult take. But in 5th grade, you just want your favorite guy to have the gold, for him to never carry it for very long. It's always a little bit of a bummer.
I think the surprise for me is that the Test Stephanie stuff is like moving at such a pace. Like, I'm like, wait, didn't they just like start dating and they're already like, let's get married? Which, I mean, I know it.
I mean, we don't cover every episode.
I know it can happen.
So has it been like 2 months?
Maybe? I know, that's what I was like, kind of like looking back to see where it was that Stone Cold gave him see how far back that was.
But it is wrestling. They can't date for 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, it's just, one of those like.
Yeah, which is also could explain why Shane's upset about it, because like just out of college.
It was June 7th, so not even 2 months.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, it just seems a little. It seems a little quick.
Yeah.
So, like, I knew it was quick, but just that it was this quick.
I think it's one of those things too. It says kid, time doesn't move as fast. So like a week, and then you get to it keeps 5 weeks of. It's like, how long do we drag it out before it gets to the conclusion for something that's like truly not that important? It's the soap opera. This one's for the ladies, if there's any watching. Yeah. If you want to be binary about it.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projector on, because we're ready to rumble. This week we covered Lost Angel, released July 27th, 1944 by MGM. It was directed by Roy Rowland and written by Agna Enters and Isabel Leonard. It stars Margaret O'Brien, a one-time Oscar nominee with 1 win, James Craig, Marsha Hunt, and Keenan Wynn. The plot of this is Alpha's been raised along scientific principles and will make Mike Regan a great human interest story for his paper. But when his interview prompts Alpha to run away from the Institute and ask him to show her some magic, Mike gets more responsibility than he bargained for, especially since another story of his, one involving gangsters, has also come home to roost.
It sounds convoluted.
It's not as convoluted as that plot makes it sound.
Also, I think I was thrown off because the character's name was Alpha, and I'm like, all right. I had to register that for a second. I don't think I've ever met an alpha in my life.
Some trivia for this one. According to a story in the Hollywood Reporter, this film was the most popular in U.S. Army camps in the Southwest Pacific Theater of Operations. And it's the movie debut of Bobby Driscoll.
Do I know Bobby Driscoll?
You probably would know him from...
Oh, he's a little kid actor, right?
Yeah, he's a little kid. He was Song of the South, before. The Song of the South kid.
Yeah. I recognize his face.
He was Peter Pan.
Did the voice of Peter Pan. Treasure Island.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, he's got a memorable face. Looks like he was just in a bunch of live-action Disney movies as a kid.
Pretty much. Treasure Island.
He died at the age of 31 from heart failure. That's crazy. Oh, drug addiction. Okay, that makes sense. He was one of those child stars that had a rough go of it. Well, prayers up for Bobby Driscoll.
Some reviews and ratings of this one. IMDb has it at a 7.1. Letterboxd at a 3.4. And I found this review from Bosley Crowther of the New York Times in 1944. All of O'Brien's skinny unattractiveness, which made her so lovably real, has now been polished and powdered for a high artificial gloss.
Dang, that's so kind of rude.
Craigs plays the reporter nicely, and Wynn is careless, but amusing. This is a plain job of measuring for Shirley Temple's outworn shoes.
It doesn't sound like people really cared for this one.
My review is a young child who has been sheltered for science. When one man tells her about imagination and her world is torn apart, but for the better. O'Brien and Craig have great chemistry together, never crossing over into annoying, which can be tough to do in a story like this, of like a child and a
I didn't realize
father
it was
figure.
A child until the Shirley Temple reference, and I'm like, okay, so she legitimately was just like
a science experiment.
Yeah, but then she is legitimately like, oh, we need another Shirley Temple kind of. That's what they're pushing.
The wrestler of this film is Mike Mazurki.
Of course it is.
And this is our 21st time to see him. He's playing a boxer who talks about why he fights to the young girl. So I gave this film a 3.5 and a wrestler performance of 3.5. I actually enjoyed this one quite a bit because it definitely, usually young children can be super annoying in movies, but like it really was about her, just her world just completely opening up because she's lived in a science institute, like
so it's like a fish out of water kind of thing.
Like never given her anything. Like she didn't even know what coloring books were. That's like how sheltered she was. Like, but yeah, absolutely. If this does sound interesting to you, you can go out there and find it through your public library system. Go ask a librarian. They'll be happy to help you find it.
Yeah.
It's what they get paid to do.
And how many people are going to the library on a regular basis?
You should do it more often.
Yeah, I should too. There's one right down the street from me.
Next week, hey, we're just going a couple days down the street. WWF SmackDown from August 26th, 1999.
I mean, SmackDown early stages, so these cards they're pushing the shit out of it.
Yep. Music from this week's show is Thorn in My Eye by Jim Johnston. And Triple H won our main event, so we play My Time by Jim Johnston as well. And if you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there, rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcast at. Do as Michael says.
5 stars or no stars. Be a happy.
That's right. And if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, you can always send those to us at WrestlingHistoryX@gmail.com or find us on X at WrestlingHistoX. That's Wrestling HISTOX. We'll talk to you next week.